back to the channel, and today a quick review for this. This is Memories of Ice, and this is book 3 in Malazan Book of the Fallen by Erikson. It was published in 2001, and my copy is 1,180 pages. Now I did a rough word count on this, and I had it at about 370,000 words, so it is quite a long book. But what I would say is, don't let it put you off. I read this quite slowly over a 22-day period, and I found that really worked for me. It really helped me take my time and make sure that I was, just absorbing all the information. Because as much as Malazan is a complicated series, it's mostly so due to the nature of the world, the amount of races and characters that you're exposed to. I wouldn't say it's a difficult read, because I believe that Erikson's prose is really, really proficient. So I wouldn't worry there at all. What I would say is that this feels more like a sequel to Gardens of the Moon rather than Dead House Gates. That doesn't mean that the characters and events of Dead House Gates aren't important. They are pertinent to this book, and they are referenced here within. So I would definitely say to read these books in order. Now, this book has a lot of action in it. There are a lot of battles. What I would say is that the battle writing in this is much more engaging than it was in Dead House Gates, and that's a really good thing, because there is a lot of action in this novel, and we have sieges, and I love sieges, which is really, really good. This is a book that will absolutely stretch your imagination. Luckily, by around 2,000 pages into Malazan Book of the Fallen, or I did at least, felt much more embedded into the world. I feel like I really understand the nature of the world, the magic systems, the races, the different kind of differentiators there. And I feel like I was ready for moments in this novel where Erikson will really challenge your imagination. He will put things into word that are very difficult to describe, and they are huge events they just really make it tough on your imagination to kind of picture the otherworldly events that are happening in front of you on the page. I really love that. It's high fantasy of the highest kind of variety, really. It looks, well, bleak, grim, dark and all that, but don't let that fool you into thinking that this isn't high fantasy. It's very, very high fantasy still. And it really works. I really enjoy that about it. It's also fairly humorous throughout. I found the humor to be quite good throughout the series, but I found it to be quite inconsistent in the first two books. I would say the humor in this is now landing at a kind of a 60 to 70% rate for me now, which makes it, the timing's better, so which makes the humor come off better. There are a few occasions where character moments that should be emotionally impactful, or humor that should really land, don't land and come across as a little immature. And that is probably the only point that really drags this book down, in that there are still a few inconsistencies when it comes to the melodrama. The melodrama is sometimes a little on the over melodramatic side, and the humour only hits at about 67 to 70% rate. But humour is exceptionally difficult to get down, especially in a setting as kind of obtuse as Malazan. So yeah, this is the book I've enjoyed most out of the 3 books in Malazan Book of the Fallen so far. I think comfortably it is my favourite, and I'd actually give it a 4.3 out of 5.